Alright, so right off the bat I'm getting some OBS issues, so that's fun. And I have to remember to unmute. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hola.
My sound is also really high.
There, I've risen from the dead.
She has risen!
Cadence, I thought you were like petting a cat at first before I realized that was your phone. Just like, yes.
That's how she unlocks her phone, just like, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm already getting OBS issues, which is very unusual. Yeah, it's doing almost 50% dropped frames.
So what you're saying is it's a Thursday.
Tuesday.
Oh, yes, that.
It's
one of those T days.
It's a normal Tuesday. Normal Tuesday
I wish it was a
for
Thursday.
us. I mean, it could be a Thursday too. Let's see if I can do some bouncing around here. Try and, because it's also really weird because when I close my task manager and open it back up, it'll say that it's taking up like 90% of the CPU, and then as soon as the task manager comes on, it's like, oh shit, stop what you're doing, and it drops down to like 20%.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's like, maybe I'll just leave it up so that it doesn't start eating up a lot of unnecessary CPU.
Oh no, I'm being watched.
I'm being monitored. Let me stop doing whatever that is. But, yeah, now it's sitting at a cool 20%, which is where I want it to be.
Yeah.
But the moment I take my eyes off of it, it'll start hiccuping. Alright. So I'm gonna get the Twitter notifications out. Nope, that was the wrong button. Did I close that other screen? I did close that other screen. Oh, there's a funny picture. It's a velociraptor in skinny jeans. Thank you. I needed that in my life.
Don't know why we needed it, but
I don't know why we needed it, but I definitely needed it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. That was what they wore in Jurassic Park, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why they called them blue. Because of the blue jeans.
Keep forgetting how to lay back down, please. Lay somewhere. Please. Please go lay down somewhere.
What? Lay down right here where you need me to not be?
I don't care if he lays down in front of me as long as he doesn't stand up in front of me. I have to have my camera about a foot higher to not get him on.
Okay.
Alright, where did our vampire Twitter notification go?
Cadence, I just realized
Which?
your character's first name is one of Talison's.
I would be drooling and snoring and sleeping.
Okay.
Yep.
She did that on purpose, yeah. Because guess who her sire is?
Is it Talison?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
Alright, where's my VtM poster? Right here for some reason. Alright. There's that. Alrighty, so some of you who are here may notice that our overlay is a little different. Oh, also, I need to adjust Shay's camera now that she's here. Position yourself where you're going to be. Don't look at me. Thank you. Don't look at me. I see you. Don't do it. Don't do it. I see you. I can see you on the camera. Alright. Some of you may notice that the overlay is a little different. Our dear sweet Nosferatu had to bow out due to health issues. We wish them well, and hopefully my drop frames will also get better because they are still going over 50%, even though I've turned a bunch of shit off. That's not good. So bear with us. Technical issues, down a player. Kay is taking a mental health day, and they promise it will be the last one for them. And so hopefully we'll have a full coterie going forward. So with the three of us, we can still continue the investigation, or we can take a little more personal looks on each of you, because, you know, it's a vampire. They're not going anywhere.
Vampire!
He doesn't have any legs. It's not like he can walk away from y'all too far. Right? Right. So
Antonio is fabulous enough to fill the extra 2 slots, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. I'm gonna... Reese, just keep riffing for a second. I'm gonna turn you down just a little bit.
Am I loud?
You're loud on my end, which is weird because you're only at 100%.
I'm always loud, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I talk too much.
That's okay. I think that's good.
If I ever went to Japan, everybody would just shush me all the time.
Shh, so loud. Oh, that was
See?
racist. Sorry.
Wow.
I apologize. So loud. Stop it.
But no, like, I've been called loud. Like, that's the way I speak. For some reason, I just am always loud.
Maybe 85.
I speak from my diaphragm.
There you go. That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. How is everybody doing? It's been a while. Been so long.
I am doing well.
Shay, do you want to tell them great news?
Which great news?
The great news is going to be happening in the next week.
The great news that's happening in the next week?
Mm-hmm.
You mean that great news?
Yeah, that great news.
That great news.
She's stalling.
I am.
Okay. Our house is closing on Friday.
On
See,
Friday.
called it.
You did. You did. Yeah, so...
That's awesome.
So Friday we close in the house, and Thursday we're going to do a walkthrough, make sure that they didn't steal the doorknobs. And hopefully by the end of this month, we'll be all settled into a new place. Yay!
When we moved in, they took pretty much everything but the doorknobs. It was ridiculous. Like, we walked in, they took down, like, every possible, like, shelf, the sconces, like, everything they could possibly take, they took. It was, like, insane.
Wow.
And see, I wouldn't hold it past these people, considering how, like, the kind of, they had, like, a bankruptcy sale on it, so we're getting it for, like, half of what it's worth, which is a great steal for this house.
Not only that, like, it's a great time to have a house and/or property right now with the way inflation's going to go up in the next few years. So, like, you want debt right now.
Yeah.
Like, you want
I
debt.
have plenty.
It's like, I got plenty of that. Don't worry.
I mean, like, debt is an asset in the economy.
Yeah.
It's a thing. So, like, you want to have things that you can then sell later on after the inflation caps. So, it's good. It's very good that you got something. So I'm very happy for you guys.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this property because what we're paying for it versus what its quoted value is there's a huge gap. It's almost twice as much. So once we start adding stuff to it and making the value go up, it's going to be a great flip down the road. And yeah. Cadence, how'd your interview go?
Well, I'm just in the waiting mode right now.
Federal jobs is gonna do that, and you're gonna be waiting for a little while, and then you'll have forgotten about it, and then one day it'll be like, hey, are you interested in this still? And it's like, yes, I am.
I'm told it's like 4 months of waiting?
It can take up to 6 months.
Up to 6 months.
It'll take a while.
Well,
That's about how long it took my brother.
They did say they're trying to get it all done within the month, so.
I would assume that since the way jobs are going right now, they probably want to get people back as quick as possible, so they probably will hire quicker than they normally would.
Yeah, well, they're going to start ramping it up because it was a hiring dead zone for the last year.
Believe me, I know. My friend works at the courthouse, So they were like on a hiring freeze for like years and years and years, and now they're finally hiring people again. So it's good. Get him while you can. Get him while the getting's hot. Whatever they say.
Take two, they're small.
They are travel size for your convenience. Alright, well, anyways, that was enough time for me to stall and get the notifications out, so we will begin. I'll do the recap since it's been a while. Basically, you all had used the help of our dear, delightful Olivia. I remember names. Our dear, delightful Olivia had taken you all to where the suspected, not the suspected, but the former lair of the deceased kindred was located on the canal of just off of Sun City, a coincidental hiding spot for a Nosferatu in Arizona to take a place named Sun City. But their lair had been situated deep within the Phoenix Labyrinth, a secret set of tunnels that only can be navigated by the Nosferatu. Any non-Nosferatu who has ever attempted to navigate the labyrinth without a Nosferatu has never been seen again or died horrible deaths, which is why Olivia insisted that you all stayed very close to them and followed their exact steps and not to deviate from the path. That was me saying the trail and path at the same time, deviating from the path. Once you all arrived, you were given the view of a lair that was situated deep underground, but they had also had patched over windows and other things to keep sunlight from getting in and air from filtering through. And this lair had been infiltrated by vermin. And through the infiltration and subterfuge of the vermin, the windows had been sabotaged of their sunproofing, and the coffin that the Nosferatu had made their safe space had been left open for them to be given final death via sunlight when the next day had arisen. You all had done a quick investigation of the area, and you had found that this Nosferatu had connections to South America, which had been pinging up fairly recently in your own searches for things that had been going on around the city. So far, 2 separate incidents have linked back to Venezuela. Venezuela? Not Venezuela. Brazil. Thank you. That other South American place. Yeah, the big one. Venezuela's on top of Brazil, so it's been a while, remember? Brazil. Normally Kay recites all of the wonderful note-taking, so I'm doing this off of memory.
You're doing better than I ever could.
trying to jam-pack all of this in at once. Antonio has been getting cozy with Callista's sire. He has a piece of the pie, as it were, within the operations of the nightclub, the Half Moon House. Callista has been maintaining relative autonomy while Antonio has been keeping their sire distracted, also taking away some of her attention. And Lucien definitely got away with murder. I think I've... also they're pretty cozy right now with Maxwell. So that's also important to note. Yeah. So we will find ourselves back at Orpheum. I'll save you guys the trouble of trying to navigate out of the labyrinth again, since Olivia is now relegated to a helpful but in the background NPC. So she is able to show you guys the way out. In which
I was just
case,
going to dive through the window dramatically.
I mean, you could. You could just climb your way up, yeah.
But I feel like that's the sensible approach.
It is quite sensible.
Through the window.
So everything seems to be pointing us to South America, but I am not quite ready to take a trip.
Not quite there yet.
Well, I do have an idea. If you think it's a good idea, then I have an idea. If not, then ignore me. I could start looking at, I don't know, places around the city. Like I'm looking for property, or you could, and anywhere that is showing that exterminators might need to be going by a bit more frequently. Maybe there's a pattern we can find that would allow us to follow an increased trail of rats.
Interesting. I like the idea.
I'm afraid that's really all I've got to offer. I don't know how to work with Czech or talk to animals, so.
So I could try to get into like some bookings, but I am definitely no live. So give me a second. I'll pull up my computer that Olivia probably wiped again.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you.
I couldn't mute that in time. Sorry.
No, you're good. So, Rin, I'm going to do a tech intelligence and try to dig around in some... Jesus, hello.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Small
The
child
werewolf
alert.
arrives.
Yeah. Antonio is incapacitated by the tiny werewolf.
Yes. I'm going to search around to various different pest control places and see if there's like... See if I can kind of triangulate if there's been an increase, number one, and if so, in what area of Phoenix. Yes.
Okay, so you're looking for large amounts of vermin congregating within the Phoenix area.
Correct. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hack into a lot of different pest control agencies' databases,
Absolutely.
pull all that data into a separate database together, and then once I have all the data, I can just set up a query that will like track the comings and goings.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I like it. Two successes. Okay. So yeah, you absolutely do that, and I think roll me two more because Olivia would be helping with this. We'll just see if it adds any extra.
So two more of the same roll?
Yeah, just two more D10. I'm just gonna say
D10.
just a bonus dice for Olivia helping set it up. Okay, so one more success.
So one more.
Cool. So as that happens, you and Olivia get to working on this, and you're seeing that there is actually reports of more vermin showing up in different areas. You're noticing a pattern, however, because a lot of the reports are coming from Sun City, Peoria, Glendale, Phoenix, and it's kind of springing up in that direction like there was movement. So, Sun City, Peoria, Glendale, Phoenix.
So it's moving straight down towards us, so that's great.
Yeah, it looks like very recently there's been a mass migration of vermin moving from Sun City back into Phoenix proper.
So I will share my findings with the group.
That is really, really close to us.
Did someone say that they can talk to animals the last time?
Viper can talk to animals, and so can Olivia.
Of course.
Viper's like dissecting a rat or something, I think.
Viper did go back to... Viper went back to the San Diego Zoo. San Diego. God bless it today. Brain. The Phoenix Zoo, where their haven and work is. So they have gone back to do some research of their own.
So, barring any other suggestions, my thought is we should set up some rat traps around Phoenix. Install microchips so that we can track these things, and then let them get summoned, and then figure out where they're congregating next. Any thoughts?
I think I like dealing with people that are smart. I just go outside and try to find them, so that's just me.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of fun when we do find them. I think that's a good idea, Antonio.
I mean, when we find them, Lucy and I will both have a good time, I'm sure.
I am probably just like staring at the map they have pulled up. If they're heading in this direction, do you think they'll keep heading towards down to Guadalupe?
It is possible, but depending on what they're actually aiming for, they could be coming here. The problem is that they are certainly massing more vermin as they're coming. So it seems like when they started in Peoria, they're pulling the vermin from there. And by Phoenix, I'm sure they built up a huge amount. That's only going to get bigger. So depending on what their target is, I mean, we should more than likely let Bernice know as well.
They're trying to walk to Brazil.
they're getting the rats to carry them to Brazil.
It is a dramatic escape. They're hoping to do it.
It's sort of that direction. Ish.
So Rin, is Bernice actually here tonight or no?
Yeah. Bernice would be here today. Tonight. Night. Yeah, so she's actually working at the Half Moon House. You guys are at Orpheum.
Mm-hmm.
So
if she's not at Orpheum, I'll just give her a call.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's not necessarily at Orpheum, but she is available to reach out to her tonight.
Okay. So yeah, I would reach out to her probably on like the club's phone.
Okay.
Since I don't have a dedicated line, this way she knows who's calling. So
Yep.
I'll let the group know, like, I'll be right back. I'm going to let her know, just so that we can start locking the business down, just in case.
Okay. Yep. And so, once again, wonderful reminder of our Toreador sire, Bernice Vishandra. You call her on the direct line, and she answers the phone, and she says, "Well, this is only one of two people. Whom do I have the pleasure of speaking to?"
Good evening, beautiful. It's me.
Antonio. Good evening.
We are tracking some kindred killers. They are using vermin, such as rats. They have been slowly moving towards our territory near Scottsdale. So I just wanted to let you know that we should probably increase security around the Half Moon House.
Vermin. How disgusting.
Indeed. We're not currently sure who the perpetrator is, but as soon as I have any info, I will let you know. I just wanted to make sure. You never knew who the target is, so I figured sooner rather than later would be a good time to inform you.
Yes, of course. Always good to be careful. Thank you, Antonio.
Of course.
How
Well,
is
I will get
Callista?
back to it. We do have a plan to track them, so I will let you know how that goes.
Of course. How is Callista doing?
Oh, she's doing quite well this evening.
Is she available?
Of course, one moment. And he'll put the phone down and go over and get Callista.
She's right behind you.
Ah, she's probably like over his shoulder. So he'll hand Callista the phone.
For me. Yes. hello?
Good evening, Callista.
It's good to hear you, madam.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. I'm doing my best to help the coterie.
That's wonderful to hear. Keep an eye on Antonio. Make sure he doesn't get into any trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. And stay safe, darling.
Absolutely.
Very good. I look forward to hearing from you.
I'll let you know as soon as I have any new information.
Yes. Be well. Stay safe. Tell Lucy and I said hi.
I will.
And she hangs up.
Callista looks remarkably happier before she hangs up the phone.
So I will call my ghoul and let him know to start gathering the parts that we're gonna need. So the traps and the GPS chips.
Yes. And he will be able to acquire those for you. He says it won't take long. That should only take a couple hours.
Just as a small aside, in addition to the chips, just in case they're going to jam it somehow or they go in an extra thick tunnel, I'm actually going to the bait that for the rats that go into the trap, I'm going to have it slightly irradiated so we can find them with the radiation if need be.
Okay. That might require a roll then. So why don't... Do you want to roll it, or do you want your ghoul to roll it?
Probably my ghoul would have better stats for it.
Okay.
But just so you know, it's just basically finding things like old clock. Like, old paint has, radium in it. There's actually a lot of... I'm not going to get myself on a watch list.
No.
But there's definitely things that you can find that are radiated.
You're gonna do some do-it-yourself irradiated. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, that's a little bit easier then.
Before he gets to work, Callista just grabs his arm and says, "Thank you," and then looks to Lucian and says, "Madame Cassandra says hello."
She knows my name.
Mm-hmm.
She does. It's scary, isn't it? So we'll say manipulation and streetwise, because he's got to be jury-rigging this.
Antonio, do you need any help?
Oh, look at him go. All right. Yeah, he says that's going to be no problem for you, Antonio. And sorry, Shay, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right.
Antonio says, my ghoul should have everything in hand. He's very good at this kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be kind of, how do they say, hurry up and wait. Once we get everything set up, we're just going to play the waiting game, and then hopefully tomorrow night we will have a significant enough amount of them where we can release them and track them.
How do you hurry with waiting?
So once we find them, we're going to track them back to the source, hopefully.
Oh, okay.
Because whoever this person is, they are drawing the vermin to them, presumably, because they are starting in Peoria and then slowly moving the entire, I don't know, what do you call a multitude of rats?
Annoying.
What is it?
Annoying.
There you go. They are slowly moving the whole gnawing, and most likely acquiring new rats as they go.
I see what you did there, and that was funny.
Like, I know there's words for everything, I just don't know the actual term rats.
No, I like that they said you call it annoying, and you said the mass of annoying. It's just a group of rats is
called a mischief.
Oh, it's
like
called
that.
a mischief. That's awesome.
Awesome. I dig that. That is almost as good as a group of ravens being called a murder.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh.
And that meme of the two ravens that says attempted murder is the best meme.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're keeping an eye out for a mischief of rats.
Indeed.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, now I have the episode title too. It's going to be Mischief Managed.
Unless we get eaten by them.
Yep. Don't
Where's
sue
my
us.
flamethrower?
Don't sue us, Rolling. I'm stealing it. All right.
You're like Indiana Jones. Rats. Why did it have to be rats?
It'd have to be rats. During the couple hours that it's going to take your your ghoul, strike that, reverse it, your ghoul, to track this all down. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
If we're just going to wait, Callista's going to start putting together some ideas. She's just going to carry around a book and start writing notes for a play she wants to develop.
That you want to develop, working on the play?
Yep, working on the play.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, she's got an idea for gaining a little bit of influence, but she's also going to try and stick close to Antonio when he'll let her.
So Antonio would definitely check on the kid at some point, but other than that, it's just basically a waiting game.
Oh,
Oh, cute.
he should be upstairs right now.
When you
That is good.
when you head upstairs to check on him, Callista has been good about making sure that this young boy is taken care of. He has his own room space, and it does have an overlook of the club itself through a window, but his area is in the back and secluded. Having been thin-blooded himself, in order for the alchemy and stuff to work, and was he thin-blooded or
No,
he's
he would.
you're going to ghoul him.
I can't ghoul him yet.
You're going to ghoul
I'm
him,
going
not
to.
yet.
I can actually ghoul him if I get the thingy.
Okay, so he's still just human currently. So he has a bed, and he has like a TV, and he's currently playing. He's playing some Smash Bros on the latest console for this alternate World of Darkness universe. He's playing the Nintendo V. I don't know. I'm hip with what the kids are into now.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that's a
Switch. It's a Switch.
The Nintendo Twitch.
Sweet.
The Nintendo Switch.
So he's keeping himself busy. Callista's kind of not restricted him from going out too far, but considering the kid is quote unquote dead, he can't go to school or do anything like that. So a lot of the time is spent here helping or just kind of playing games, living the dream of a young teenage kid who thinks they don't have to go to school ever again.
Trapped in a room.
To which I
Trapped in a
immediately
room.
turn around and ask Callista, like, is he being homeschooled?
I'm not super smart on a lot of subjects. I've been trying to teach him things here and there. Do you have somebody?
Well, I mean, we could all teach him something, I'm sure, but he should probably have some kind of dedicated teacher. It will be important for later that he is educated.
He's I do have a lot of books, but I don't know how. I don't have school books. You're right. Do you know someone who
I don't know anybody particularly, but we could probably look someone up.
Okay.
Just so that we could, if he is going to integrate into our society eventually, he will need to learn much, and not just of our society.
Yeah. I did.
The more skills that he has to offer, the better, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You were right. I had him. I had him connected to me as a retainer for the time being. I've been trying to advance my alchemy to make him healthier, but I'm not. My blood's not strong enough yet. I'm close, very close.
That's very good. The only thing I would say is, generally ghouling someone prevents their growth, yes?
It slows down their aging, but it doesn't stop it.
Okay.
I believe LA by Night defined it as like you're aging like for every decade you're aging like a year instead. So it's significantly slowed.
Right. I just don't want him to be like a 40-year-old in a kid's body, because that would suck.
Well, yeah. So it is kind of that, and the flip side to it too is as soon as they stop getting fed, it all catches up to them too.
Mm-hmm.
How old is he again?
I think we said like 14.
Oh, that's actually older than I thought, so that's at least a little better.
I think he was like 13 6 months ago.
Yeah, I think he was
He had a birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would be a little closer to 14 now with time progressing.
Yeah.
But he was in the early tweens when we set it up.
So yeah, Antonio would definitely look into getting him like a homeschool dedicated teacher kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Specifically dealing with like STEM fields, because that's generally what's the most important to kindred society, I guess you could say. So we'll give him an emphasis in STEM.
All right, now just for my own knowledge, I'm looking up what STEM fields is. All right.
Science,
gotcha.
technology,
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Yeah.
there you go.
Cool. Now I know what that acronym means, and I will commit it to knowledge. Yeah, so giving him the important stuff.
Yes.
Biochemistry or biophysics, environmental sciences, hydrology, geoscience, or medicine, computer science, industrial design, information technology. Wow, that is a really well-rounded education system.
Mm-hmm.
Aerospace
And
engineering.
again, it's
All
history's
the
great and all,
mathematics.
but like it's not going to really help the kid, right? So I'd rather focus on things that could benefit him in our world, you know?
Well,
If
if you
he's
teach
gonna
him
make himself-
history, he'll be able to, interact more with more of our kind, because,
He'll. I think
they're all
it's.
old.
I think it's he'll pick up on the history and etiquette over time.
Right. Like just interacting with people.
Okay, I gotcha. Because he does need to have the knowledge, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think the history side you guys can teach him too. So
Right.
you fresh mooks who just became kindred yourselves. My brain is just all jumbled today for words. Okay.
Words hard.
Words hard. I'm just getting all my terminology backwards today. Anyways.
I understand.
It's all right. It's all good.
I want to find out if Callista knows that the aging process slows that significantly. Do I roll?
Roll me an etiquette plus intelligence.
So good at this.
Yep. You're only a thin blood. Why would you not know this? You know. Do you want to re-roll?
Sure.
Okay. That's fine. Did you want to re-roll anymore? You can re-roll as much as you have willpower.
Nah.
Okay. So you're a thin blood, and the information that is given to you is already fairly limited because of how they view thin bloods. So you, as an individual who is still figuring out your own weird place within kindred society, being very different, you already don't have a huge grasp on what things like ghouling will do. You have certainly heard rumors, and you know Antonio has a ghoul, and you probably could have asked Antonio's ghoul, but he's off running errands. You probably could have asked Antonio too. But just thinking on it, you have heard rumors about it, but you have no idea what ghouling somebody as a thin blood will do.
I realized that I couldn't ghoul anyone with as thin as my VtM is right now. But I mean, I've been working on it, and I figured it would be. I figured it would be safer for him in our society if he was.
I mean, safer, yes, but he would be considered property of property. It is really hard to say which way he would be safer, to be honest with you.
Is anyone really safe?
I would think a ghoul might be safer than thin blood, the way some people view thin blood.
So, if a ghoul is a ghoul of, like, a powerful vampire, then you're that powerful vampire's property, and nobody will mess with you as a result of that, right? But if you're a ghoul of a thin blood who's already on the bottom chain of the ladder...
I mean, that's the thing, though. I've seen ghouls treated with much better...
Antonio and Lucian, you would also know that as property, property is usually the first thing taken away in punishments as well. So it might be something worth warning about.
Yep, I would definitely bring that up too. I would let Callista know.
Oh.
So, I mean, you have nothing to worry about if you're on your best behavior and don't screw up.
I mean, there are pros and cons to everything. I just want you to know what could potentially happen. It's better to go in eyes open than eyes closed.
But
if you like, maybe you could enter into a deal with somebody and just say that they're that person's cool.
Well,
that is a possibility.
Well, you mean while like ghouling them myself?
Correct, unless you actually want this other person to ghoul them.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess.
Granted, that person would be taking responsibility as well. So, if that person messes up, then something could happen to the boy then. So it must be somebody you trust.
Right. Then I guess. I mean. I need to make a willpower now.
Oh. 2 successes. What are you trying to resist?
I think what she says about like what she thinks is good for her sire. I would be sort of giving him my sire's vitae, but I mean she's what do you think, Antonio? Lucian?
I would not attach him to someone as prominent as your sire. If someone was to attack her, they could attack him as collateral damage. Perhaps someone slightly smaller that's not quite as involved, but still potentially powerful.
You mean like you? Sorry, I didn't mean that.
No, certainly not me. I get into far too much trouble to have a boy under me. I was thinking perhaps someone like a Lucian, a Viper, maybe a Maxwell. Who do you have good relationships with that might be able to do this for you?
My coterie and my sire. I don't think I don't think many. Yeah.
Well, Rome was not built in a day. Why don't you think on it?
Yeah, we gotta wait until he grows a little more anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you mean?
Yes, you do not want to start it now because it slows the growth, so it will take him a while to fully mature.
Oh.
Ren, I actually think to embrace before they're of age is actually like illegal in Kindred Society, right? Because like maybe they have a tendency to go insane.
Mm-hmm. It is frowned upon
in this establishment.
Yeah, it is highly frowned upon within Kindred Society to sire somebody before they're considered an adult. For the reason stated that they tend to, it's the interview with a vampire problem.
Right.
They psychologically they get damaged, and the being stuck in a child body when you are 200 years old causes a lot of issues on your own self-image. And on your mentality, and it's just a whole thing that they've seen happen, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and put a stop to that. And
yep.
There are special circumstances where it is okay to do it, but it is very few and far between.
I'm sure certain people could get away with it, but it's certainly not a common thing.
Yep. And that is restricted to just embracing.
Yes,
so,
you can ghoul whoever you want, but
yep.
I'm just saying, like, that would slow everything down. So if the intent was to embrace this person eventually, then you would want them to, get to that point first, and then work it out, basically.
Yep.
I don't know if he would want to be embraced.
Well, I mean, that is very sweet of you, but I don't know it's his choice either.
I just want to make sure that he fits in.
Right now, he's a human that knows of our society.
He's a retainer.
Yes, he's a retainer, but he's a liability as well. They don't allow humans to stay humans very long after they know about our society. They will give him the 4 years to mature, but either he becomes a ghoul after that, or you will need to hide him somewhere.
Oh, I don't think a lot of other kindreds really like me, though. The Herald, I think, does.
Who's the Herald? Is that Maxwell?
No. She met the Herald on a trip to the Ivory Tower. Let me.
I haven't met this person yet.
Yeah, you haven't met this person. This was another Toreador. I found their name. Their name is Harold. Victor Riddle.
I have not met this person, but I would not bring it up lightly. You should definitely have a very deep connection to this person before you bring it up. Again, the child has time. He's 14 right now.
But they're also very up there on the ladder, so to speak.
They are. That is true. Maybe start your budding relationship now, so that when it is time, you can go to them.
I did have an idea, actually. So I'm going to be putting together a performance, and of course, you and my sire would be there. But I was also thinking of inviting people like Victor Riddle, so that maybe everybody can, make connections.
I think that is quite a good idea, in fact.
Do you think do you think Madame Ashandas would be proud of me?
I think so. I think you coming out of your shell and gaining more power for her house is a good thing.
Okay. I haven't completed it, but I have some notes and things, and I'll keep working on it. I should have it done in a couple months.
Excellent. Well, it is a very good. Do we know what plan this riddle is from?
Toreador.
Oh, then the play is perfect. I am sure that will go over quite well. So, you have some options to think about.
A thought, though. You mentioned it could be a problem if he's cooled by a thin blood, but I've seen ghouls treated much better than thin bloods. Like much better.
Thin bloods certainly have a stigma to them as far as things like vampire prophecy. You are considered some kind of boogity man bad omen. But as far as
the
ghouls
end
go,
times.
right? As far as ghouls go, generally they are treated better because they are basically like retainers of kindred society. They are the tools that get things done during the day for us kindred. So yes, they are treated better, but generally they are only as powerful and protected as the person that ghouled them. So as a ghoul, if someone was to find out that the person who owned the ghoul was a thin blood, theoretically there would be no real consequence to destroying the ghoul, is what I'm saying. You wouldn't have to worry so much unless it came up or someone found out. but in that instance, it could pose a problem.
And you don't think my sire would be a good choice to
I think your sire is very
scary. The word
interested
before
in
is
the
scary.
business and not.
she doesn't need more problems, you mean?
Correct. It's another variable that she would have to account for that I don't think she wants.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, you took charge of this child on your own. I think she would want you to take care of it on your own.
All right.
And on that note, Antonio will beat him in Smash Brothers.
And eat his Lunchables.
Ah! Take that, kid!
Is there anything Lucien wants to get up to?
Oh gosh. He wants to check his haven and make sure rats aren't getting into it.
Mm.
Since it's sort of in a basement.
Mm-hmm. And just remind us what his haven looks like.
It's in the basement of like an abandoned meat packing building. Smells good. Smells like bacon.
Smells like bacon. Yeah, so it is now canonically a bacon factory. If they don't have a bacon factory, there is one now.
There you go.
So give me a wits awareness.
Oh goodness. If I can find. Bam. Bam. Hey, a 1.
Would you like to spend any willpower?
I think so. If I can find my shading. Willpower. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
It would only be 2 of the dice, but
Ah.
it's still 2 more successes, which brings it up to 3 regardless. Let me open up the book, because I have a response in mind. I just want to make sure it's appropriate for a Malkavian. Because people who have played Malkavians more than I have, which is I've played all of 0, I just want to make sure that if I start having voices show up in your head, it's technically appropriate.
Yeah.
So there is the Malknet, so you're
Yep.
fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that hadn't gone away, right? That's still a thing.
Nope, still a thing.
All right, Ruby Mad Hatter, thank you for the host. Right, so Lucien, you start looking around York Haven underneath the bacon factory, and what you end up seeing are signs of vermin. Whether or not the vermin had been there beforehand or not, you're starting to make notice of little things, scritches here, droppings there, and the voices are whispering to you that it's like, oh shit, have these always been here? When was the last time anyone cleaned this place up? The bacon does smell good though. Oh man, do bacon draw in rats? What if the rats are here right now? And as you're looking around, you see that over in one corner of your haven, there is a series of rodent pellets that have formed the words just because you're paranoid doesn't mean we're not out to get you.
God, they're intelligent rodents. Okay. All right, I am going to have to get some traps. Maybe I can ply them with food. If I feed them, they'll like me. I'll get food and traps.
Food and traps. The bacon.
Bacon. I'll get bacon, traps, and rat food. Yeah, okay. That's what I'll do.
And another voice says, and poison.
Oh, do I need poison though? That just seems rude.
Another voice goes, what if we steal Viper's vipers and release them into the haven?
Oh, that'll be fun. They'll be
Vipers,
happy.
vipers.
Viper will never.
Viper won't miss a dozen or two.
Do vipers notice data traps? Well, if I rig the traps
so that they release vipers.
Ooh. The rats go in and the vipers go. Yeah, okay, cool. Put the rat food in with the vipers, because the vipers would eat rat food. The vipers would eat the rats. So the rats go in, the vipers get lunch, everybody's happy.
Viper will thank you. You're feeding their snakes.
Exactly, yeah. Viper's busy. She has many things to worry about. Research, reading, all that stuff. All right, I'm gonna go steal Viper's vipers, get some boxes, get some rat traps, get some rat food, buy some bacon.
I love it when Kay gets back. I'm just gonna be like, and you notice that all your snakes are gone.
I was gonna say Viper's somewhere like doing whatever he's doing. It like sneezes like in an anime, you know?
Yeah. All right. So Lucian has now begun a daring infiltration of the Phoenix Zoo, and so you don't have anything. You don't have anything like folklore bane running water or anything like that, right?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Because it is situated. The way to get in it is over just like a little canal river. It's pretty cool. There's like a bridge that gets you over there. So yeah, if you happen to have that, then it's like the safest place a kindred could be, or a human for that matter. But you know where Viper's work area in Haven is. While Olivia is the one who's usually there, I believe you guys have gone to the zoo at least once. So it's not hard to get there, and Lucian would know to at least go for the reptile house, because, you know, what are lizards but snakes with legs, after all? And so, please give me a couple of rolls here, because you're going to be breaking in at night. So I will need a dexterity and stealth. Stealth a thing? Yes, stealth plus dexterity. And of course, if you're using any powers, just let me know.
I don't think I have anything that would really.
And I'll stop using Antonio's sheet and use Viper's.
I'm fun. Everything's fun. How about 4 successes?
No, that's 5.
Oh, 5, yeah. I got 2. Okay.
Well, actually, it's 6 successes, because the critical makes it more. So you have 6 successes. I'm going to roll Vipers privately, so that you know. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. You have a really high number. I don't need to hide what they're getting here. So it's going to be Wits Awareness. See if you get by them. Modifiers. I actually give them a penalty because they're in research. They're focused. This is their thing. There it is. Okay. All right. You are able to successfully break into the reptile house. You are the wind. Breaking into this reptile house, you see that there are several atriums and enclosures dedicated for these snakes of various sizes and species of snakes. It wouldn't be hard to guess which ones eat vermin, because most of them do. Whether they're constrictors or venomous, you probably don't have an idea. But how does Lucian go about rounding up these snakes?
Brought along a cardboard box because that's what you do. I think he'd at least have enough presence of mind to maybe read any signage that would be around by the snakes. See if anything say what they eat. Otherwise, he'll just pick the pretty ones.
Okay. So give me to keep the snakes from freaking out on you. I'm gonna need a charisma animalkin.
Oh gosh, I'm screwed.
all I really want is one success. Because they're
And
there it is. All right, yeah. So what this amounts to is you're able to carefully abscond with these snakes. You're not snake charming them or anything, but it's your ability to handle them into the box without them getting agitated. So you just collect up, and I'm gonna roll a number here.
Pretty snakes.
Yeah. Give me a relative term between a handful to a buttload. How many snakes are you grabbing?
Probably just a handful. Yeah.
Just a handful?
Not a lot.
Alright, so I'm gonna do... Oh,
I don't want them eating each other in the box.
Yeah. Alright, so you grab a couple handfuls. So all in all, you get about 7 snakes. They're let's see here, going from tiny to boa constrictor here. you grab 7 big snakes. you
Well, they'll eat more rats that way, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you grab 4 or 7 large species snakes and pile them into this box. And Viper's definitely not going to notice that these large snakes are missing. This is fantastic.
I'll get them back before they find out.
Yeah, exactly. And so you've rounded up these snakes, and you head back to your haven. With Snake Heist done, I think since we started just a little late, this will be a good time to take our break. So let's get up, take 5, and come back, and we'll probably go for.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll go for another hour, so we don't push too far ahead. But we'll take a break, do another hour, and then we'll call it for this week.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
You're back,
shortly.
everybody.
Alrighty. So, we'll be coming back here in just a moment. Still been losing all these frames. Doesn't seem like it's been causing any problems. Nobody said anything.
I haven't noticed anything on the
Yeah, so far the
Twitch
bot's been good for me too.
Yeah, it's been telling me it's been about 60% dropped frames, and I'm getting several notifications of it. So I'm sure it's just a connection issue because I'm watching the bandwidth jump between 2 to 4K. So it's ping-ponging in that stable range. So I don't quite know what it's doing. Maybe I don't have anything. EA background service. Why are you even there? I don't play anything with EA. Why don't I kill that? See if that helps.
The Sims.
Like, it would be fine if I actually played The Sims, but, you know, I don't have $400 to invest into DLC.
By the time you're done your house in The Sims, you could have bought a real house.
Basically. Okay, I'm gonna un-BRB us. Look at your beautiful faces. We're back. Alright, so, the night has progressed. Lucian has successfully Pee Wee Hermaned several snakes from the zoo. And poor Viper is none the wiser. Oh, just in time. Near Dark
I
Society.
insist we play this out and use the Benny Hill music for it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the heist of the century. Poor Lucian is not going to notice these snakes are missing until next week, and that's going to be hilarious. The intent, Lucian, is to just let them loose here within the Haven.
Yeah. The scattered rat food around just because.
Yep. So with a scattering of rat food, bacon, and vipers, you are quite content that your haven will be safe until the vipers start to overpopulate your haven, in which case you will need to release gorillas to eat the snakes.
Gorillas eat snakes.
I feel like this is not going in a great direction.
That's a Simpsons reference.
Then you have to ghoul the gorillas.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Some gorillas.
Gorillas.
Yeah.
I just imagine the our target just like riding on his rats, and then they all just like change trajectory. He's like, "Where the fuck are you going?"
Also, like, completely
I
unrelated.
smell bacon.
Completely unrelated, but because I left Twitter open, apparently, if this is the real cover, the special edition for the new adventure looks really cool. Since it's a Feywild one, it's got like a it's a white backdrop, and it's got like red coloring in it and some red flowers, and then a displacer beast, and then just the title of it. It looks
super sad though, because I was really hoping for a Dragonlance module.
I mean,
I've been waiting for a Dragonlance module since 5th edition released. It was the most requested module at the time. They put out a poll, and Dragonlance won the frickin' poll at the launch of 5th edition, and there's still no Dragonlance campaign set.
If
At least we're
Tiamat
getting more Dragonlance books. So.
if Tiamat keeps dying, and if Tiamat keeps dying in all the in all these worlds, she's not going to be able to enter any of them.
No.
yeah. But,
They killed her at the Bristol Fair a couple summers ago. So.
nice.
She got killed in the Dragonlance world too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did. And then she came back, and then she got killed.
Again.
Like you do.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just Tiamat. Nothing of value was really lost. Let's see here. All right,
I actually
back on
had a
track.
player with like Tiamat's like full breath weapon. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like insta killed them. It was amazing.
Like, I wish I could do one that has Tiamat in it, but Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat are hot garbage. So we'll never get to experience that nightmare again.
I mean, I'll just run you a Dragonlance game. It's fine.
There we go. Right. So, Antonio has offered to run Dungeons and Dragons for Callista and Lucian, because we have definitely been in character this whole time. Is there anything else?
Sitting those sons of bitches, Wizards of the Coast, they still haven't released my Dragonlance module.
That was a big thunderclap.
And I'm undead. I have time.
You hear that thunder?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty crazy here a while ago. We're actually supposed to get thunderstorms for till Saturday, they said.
Yeah, we're booked up. We're booked up for the rest of the week too.
Yep.
I don't know what my weather is.
I just went to check the weather forecast, and one of the trending news things just says glacier blood is our latest nightmare, and it's like, what the fuck? Okay. Besides that horrible
Glaciers where the old gods are frozen.
yeah, it just
Anyway.
anyways, putting that nightmare aside, Lucian, was there anything else you wanted to get done tonight on your own before reconvening?
No, that was fun.
That was fun.
That'll do.
All right. So I assume everybody will reconvene at Orpheum. Antonio, this is when your ghoul comes back a couple hours later. It's been enough time for Lucian to get up into trouble. And so he has delivered you several boxes worth of equipment. He tells you they're in the back room. He doesn't take them through the front doors or anything. He's a professional.
Cool. I thank him greatly and let everybody else know that we're good to go.
What's our next step then?
Now we monitor the subjects, because we're in the middle of the club, so not and see where they lead us.
Yeah.
So we just keep an eye on the computers, and once they're on the move in a distinct direction together, we should have our answer, hopefully.
I imagine now would be the time of putting stuff together and baiting some rats and unleashing them.
Lord.
So let's get a roll from Antonio to cobble all this together.
What you want, boss?
I believe.
Occult intelligence. Occult dexterity.
It would be technology, and you can give me. I keep wanting it to be manipulation, but then I remind myself that it's not that. Give me.
Manipulate those rats.
Yeah, manipulate those rats. You lie to them by saying that the cheese is fine. Give me an intelligence technology, and I will give you a bonus 2 dice because Olivia is helping again. That should offset it. Cool.
And
2 is enough. 2 is enough because all you're doing is assembling them, and you need them to work. Oh, that's been something. So 6 is a pass, I believe, right?
I believe so, yes. I believe it's 6 to 10.
Yeah. Okay. So you're able to assemble these. They will not break under any ratly duress. And so you assemble enough beacons to. Usually, when you do want to do something like this, you want about 20 to 30, probably. So you have enough to start baiting places for these rats to pick up, and this too is going to take some time, and I think you won't find anything for it tonight. But you spend the rest of the night driving around Scottsdale and downtown Phoenix, just placing bait in places where you suspect that a lot of the vermin would be. My question is, does Lucian snatch up any of this bait?
Probably. Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
So, one or two pieces will go missing. Usually it's just because Lucian had pocketed them. Whether or not they ended up telling everybody else what happened in their haven is up to Lucian. But
I'm
for
not
now,
super worried about like a few.
Yeah.
As long as we have enough to get the job done, I don't care if Lucy grabs some.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you spend the night doing that. Over the next couple days, you start cataloging and watching the movements of what's happening, and you start to notice that there is in fact a pattern of these rats congregating in the Phoenix area. And where it was just like little dot, 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 little dot. Over time, they're basically starting to mass into an area right around here. And so they're just kind of slowly moving in from where you had scattered them, but by like the end of the week, you have noticed that they've centralized in the downtown area.
Excellent. So I will head to Orpheum and kind of just let everybody know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so everybody's up to speed with that. It's a new night. The club is moving. It's very exciting. There are plenty of wonderful, hungry people. Also, since I did a little time skip, I have to remember to keep our bookkeeping stuff up. It's been a couple days. I would imagine everybody would have topped themselves off. So if your hunger's not at 1, put it at 1 now, and then give me a rouse check for this current night. James Coffey, thank you for subscribing. On YouTube. Wow. Hello. Hi, YouTube. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube. That's new. If you guys weren't aware, we are streaming on Facebook and YouTube as well. So seeing somebody from YouTube, hello. Very happy to have you here.
Fancy now.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Hi. Thank you. Anyways, I have rouse checks. Callista gets hungrier. Lucian gets hungrier. Antonio gets a critical, so they are so not hungry that they can exist forever. No, I'm just kidding. But he doesn't get hungrier. That's the important bit. You have reconvened at Orpheum. You have realized that the rats are congregating in downtown Phoenix. Really don't know what's going on with my brain today with words. You are in... Strike that. Restart. You are in Orpheum. Rats are in downtown Phoenix. Antonio has conveyed the information. Lucian, you've noticed that a couple of the snakes are significantly fuller, but there haven't been any signs of new vermin in your haven since you released all of the rats.
Do I still have 7 snakes?
You still have 7 snakes, yes.
Okay.
You have 7. You have 7. Now I should make should I make you roll for it? No, they don't know how to operate stairs. They're fine. They can open doors, apparently, though.
I think it's gonna be hysterical that like Viper's gonna like try to feed them like next week and be like, none of them are hungry. I'm so confused.
Where the fuck are my snakes?
You're eating bacon.
Yeah, no,
Why do they smell like bacon?
Kay is going to be furious when she finds out, but it's going to be hilarious at the same time.
If we know where they are, then I'm a little bit peckish. I don't want to go in on an empty stomach.
Would you like to hunt?
If we have time, I'd like to find something pretty.
Mm-hmm. Where do
Antonio just kind of like goes like this at the club.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, where do you plan to go hunting?
I'll just do it at the club.
Okay, that's
Never heard
perfectly
for a
fine.
reason.
Yeah. So, please give me your hunting roll, and then tell me how you want to do this.
I'm going to slip into the crowd, dance for a little bit, and see if I can attract someone and take them back for a quickie, a quick nibble.
A quickie and a quick nibble.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and make
Quickie
your
nibble.
make your hunt roll for me, please.
I have to remember how much extra dice I get for this. Yeah, what do I have? What do I have?
So many modifiers.
Okay. 3. For this specific thing.
Oh,
Well,
I'm good at one thing, everyone.
yeah. So you were able to lure in a young, attractive person. Gender is not important for Callista, as far as I remember. Food is food, but they are attractive. They are a good dancer, and they are completely into you as you captivate them upstairs to your private room, where you spend at least an hour or so with them before feeding. And for them, it's the best intoxicating feeling that they experience, and they are more than content once you are done. My question is, do you slake your hunger completely, or do you just get it back down to 0? Or back down to 1, excuse me.
You mean, do I eat them? No.
Yes. Do you slake your hunger completely, or do you get it back down to 1?
Just a 1.
Okay. Yeah, so once it's all said and done, they kind of stumble down the stairs out of your private penthouse that's situated within Orpheum as well, and then kind of make their way back to the bar, top themselves off with a drink, looking a little lightheaded and quite satisfied, and before they fade off into the crowd again.
Excellent. Are we all ready?
I am quite satisfied, yes.
Did anybody else want to take the time to feed?
I'm good.
Okay.
good.
I'm so not hungry, apparently.
You're so not hungry. And you're pretty good. You had a juice box earlier with your blood bags. So you're
Juice box while I was playing Smash Brothers with the kid.
exactly. All right.
All right.
What is
So I
the
guess
plan?
everybody will climb up into my truck and we'll all go together.
Do you
Unless
still,
anybody else had different plans.
do you still have that Kepler?
I actually gave it to you. Like, there's an armory at the Haven anyway, but I
Oh.
assumed everything that you guys took, you kept.
Well, I returned the gun, so I guess I kept the Kepler. So I'm putting the Kepler on underneath my clothes.
Okay. Anybody else doing any preparations?
No, I'm good. I carry everything with me, so.
Mm-hmm.
The usual preparations. Just go along for the ride.
Alrighty. And so you jump into the truck and you head down. You head down the 51 to get into Phoenix itself, where it crosses into the 202. You keep riding before you start taking the side streets. And Antonio, you are following along with a little like tracker thing. Olivia's got their laptop up, and they're watching the GPS of where the rats are congregating. I'm also going to say, for the sake of ease of next week, Viper is also in the van, but I will let them respond to Lucian's snake absconding next week. So they're just there, silently fuming in the back seat. And as you guys are following along, give me another intelligence technology roll, please, Antonio, with a +2 bonus of Olivia helping. Okay. It's going. Do you want a willpower? Okay.
Yes, with with Olivia rolling 0 successes, I do want a willpower. Yes.
Yeah. It would only be the one.
So when I click willpower, do I just type in 1?
Yes.
You click the willpower reroll and then type in 1, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because it's going to ask how many you'll re-roll, because you can only re-roll the failure, so you wouldn't need to re-roll the 7. But that kind of sucks because your 1 became a 1. Oh, geez, it became a 1 again on the second time. Yeah, so it just doesn't want you to get that second dice, apparently. It's not so much that you lose track of the rats, but it is what you were worried about when you were making the initial setup, that the signal might get degraded going deeper underground or things like that. But you had prepared for it. You had made contingencies for that with the radiation. And while you're still able to track them, it's just that it takes longer now to kind of pinpoint where they're going to be. And it's not long before you find that in this downtown area, near where Phoenix has its convention center and its baseball stadium, there's an old train yard and a number of rundown factories that are largely left uninhabited, and they just kind of built newer stuff around it while leaving that there as like an old town or a lower class place for the unemployed and homeless to congregate in. And the massive rodents seems to be centralizing in one of these spots.
I'm gonna switch over to thermal, and do I see any humanoid figures? I mean, granted, they won't be hot-blooded more than likely, but like I can find them against the background.
Mm-hmm. You're not. How intense do I want to make this for you guys? You're not seeing any humanoid figures through like the windows or on the outer perimeter.
It's a train yard, so is there any kind of like security office around?
There would be a security office right at the entrance, so it would be one of those situations where they have it walled off, the entrance to it, and there would be just like a small house where the old security office would be centralized.
Okay, so if that is the case, I'm gonna avoid the cameras and break into the security office.
Okay.
Do you require cover or anything?
I just kind of like say like with my hand, like, just give me a second. And I want to go by myself, because the less people traipsing across, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. So give me a Dex plus stealth.
But that's a foul.
That's a 4. And you are the knight. They do not see you. You are approaching the security station itself. And so as you are walking up, you see that it is unmanned. There is nobody here keeping an eye on things. No living people, anyways.
Okay. I'm gonna try to, can I just open the door or no?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a security system connected first?
Give me a wits awareness.
One. But it is a crit.
Well, it's bestial.
It has to succeed to be a bestial.
Yeah. Did you want to re-roll that? Because the problem is the hunger dice succeeding isn't necessarily a good thing by itself. So,
There you go.
there we go. So let's see here. I'm just pulling up the hunger dice so I can give you the correct answer. I really wish they sorted this book out better.
I'm guessing it'll be something like that. When I heighten my senses to like look for it, I just start like hearing heartbeats and an extra sensory perception, and it freaks me out probably.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess on like a sensory bestial critical.
Okay, that's examples. Critical win in which one or more tens appears on the hunger dice as a messy critical. The character succeeds as in a regular critical, but like an animal would, not being capable of foresight or self-control. The beast scored the critical, perhaps not you. So basically, you succeed, but in an unforeseen way. And so Antonio notices the security system, but it's very much after he had stepped into the room. And while he's stealthy, it's in such a way that there was maybe... Oh, I know how to just do it. It's not a security system in the sense of looking for cameras or a locked door, but when you open the door and take the first step in, you don't notice that there's a small tripwire with a series of cans and metal that jingle and clang. And so you're able to catch it just at the last moment, but it does let off that soft rattle before you're able to get your hand on it and still the noise.
Sounds good. Is there any kind of security system like hookup that I can connect into here or no?
No. It looks
Okay.
like everything is very primal.
It's just
and
basically like
makeshift.
a switchboard.
Yeah.
Rudimentary.
The old security system of the train yard is still there, but it's not active. Because
Okay,
I
so the
get what
cameras
you,
don't actually see anything.
yeah, the cameras and stuff are not on. The old security system is not working. Yeah,
Can I
whoever.
turn it on?
Yes, please give me a roll to see if you can turn it on. It looks old. It looks like it's been sitting there for at least 10 years.
So to turn it on, what do you think? Like performance charisma?
I mean, yeah. If you can get a critical on that, I will definitely say that you powered it up perfectly. Give me a dexterity technology. Find the right sequence of wires and flippies and.
That would be a 4 and 110.
Yep. So it's not a critical on that side. For the normal ones, you need 2 of them to make it a critical, but it's still successes. It's 4 successes at that, with no negative connotations within the hunger dice. So you are able to not just get it working again, but you get it working again quickly. To kind of offset the negative aspect of tripping the more rudimentary security system, you're able to get the technological security online and under your control. And so when you go to flip on the cameras, the last thing we're going to see tonight before we wrap up is a series of old CCTVs. There's 6 of them stacked on top of each other, 2 rows of 3. They start flickering on, a little bit of static. They're in black and white, but it shows the train yard, one of the repair rooms where you would back one of the train cars in and do some work, a couple of storage containers, and then the last one that you look at, it's like the middle of the bottom row. There is a spot where there is a coffin that is currently open because it's the middle of the night, but there is a bandaged up looking individual that does not have their legs from the knees or their arms from the elbows, but their face is bandaged up, and you can see protruding long bat-like ears. Their faces bandaged. There's strands of shaggy hair, and around their neck is a cross, and they seem to be sitting there around a massed congregation of hundreds of rats.
So Antonio immediately yells out "Over there!" No, I'm kidding.
Over there. But yeah,
Hey, everybody!
That'll everyone get in here. But that'll be where we wrap up, so we don't deprive Kay of having a chance to unleash a Viper army on the rat army.
Oh my god, it's like a miniature kaiju battle.
Yep. Tiny kaiju battle.
Tiny kaiju battle.
Tiny
Swarm
kaiju
versus
battle.
swarm.
Yep. Alright, so to wrap up today, thank you, a room full of yes men, for following, Near Dark Society for following, and James Cahy for following us on YouTube. So that was...
Thank you, everybody.
Once again, that was exciting to see. People are watching us on YouTube, so hey, welcome. Thank you.
The YouTube interface for streaming is actually really great too.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
I'm really glad that I started putting up the multi-stream so that people can have a chance to see us in other places, and it looks like it's paying off. We will be back. When will we be back? We have a lot of our stuff is kind of on hold right now. I think we're going to be starting a new game on Saturdays if Shane doesn't back out from running Dungeons and Dragons for us. Our Sunday game is on pause now because one of our 3 players has living situations that are not very good for them right now, which makes them showing up for streams difficult. So I think we're pausing that because it would just be Shay and I at the moment, which sucks because it was a really good Savage Worlds game. And then I guess we'll be back here Tuesday for more of this. For me, you can catch me a few places this week. I will be over on, I have to be able to pronounce this correctly, Valdriant's channel, playing a converted version of Blades in the Dark that is like a fantasy western horror. I play a humanoid, like tall person, fairy, fae folk, silver tongue. So basically I'm playing face, but a western face, and they have cool fairy wings, and they
Nice.
I'm playing the silver tongue, which is basically just the talker version. So they're a fae and they're a prostitute, and they have a good time. We scared off a bear last week, so that was great.
You pushed the bear off the fence.
No, I stood on the muscle's shoulders, and we made ourselves look bigger to scare off the bear.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my god, it has 4 arms. What the heck?
Yep, and then I got mauled by a coyote. But I definitely did get to use my charm and charisma to seduce a treasure map off of a group of fanatics. So that was fun.
You seduced the
cool.
treasure map?
I seduced the treasure
You
map.
have to promise me
impressive.
that you at least once run out from behind like a catty corner, and while the bad guys are trying to attack, you say, "I just run straight past them like we did in the last game," because that was the best.
I'm hoping we'll try and do the get help as well. Please get help, and then throw the person at them.
Oh, it was so good. We ran straight past the people who were there to attack us, and then convinced them that there was something chasing us, and then took their bikes back to the place that we were going.
I still think, oh Jesus, this thing just wants to keep flipping on our overlay. I still think the best one is where Face bluffed his way into the lawyer.
That was good too, yeah.
It's such a good clip. But that's where I'll be Thursday afternoons. This week's recording of Trudvang is not happening because Necrobiotics Kickstarter is ending on Thursday, so Mitch wants to dedicate all of his time to that. I will have a character within the Necrobiotic book as well, because I am throwing Mitch a stupid amount of money to help support that, because I believe in the things that Mitch does, because he is a great person.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it. It looks super cool. So.
Yeah, and we are marked to do that on Thursdays whenever Trudvang finally wraps up, because like I was telling in Outro's channel, it's like we're on like the 5th episode of 8, but it's like week 10 because people just... It's kind of like Tuesdays, where it's kind of cursed in just... Shit keeps happening, and it's a little easier because all we're doing is recording, but Thursday nights is the only night that everyone's available, so when something bad happens, like people have had medical issues or the storms knocking up the whole East Coast last week, we just can't play. So it's like, it was only supposed to be for 8 weeks, but we're on week 10 and we're only halfway through recording. So, you know, it'll be done when it's done. And we were hoping to get our game going on this channel after the Kickstarter, but, you know, we wanted to help get it some attention and promote, but now I guess that's not going to happen. So we'll just play it once it's fully funded. I think Mitch is still on board for running it for us, so that should be fine. Fridays, I will be over on Weave the Tale, because I am going to be the storyteller for Cult, Divinity Lost. And I wasn't able to wrangle Cadence in, but our good friend Dido is going to suffer through it, and I have a few other people that I haven't met before until the session 0, but it'll be fun to torture and torment them as well. I tried to get Mitch to okay me doing I Am Pilgrim 2, but he never got back to me on it, and they were like, Helmgast wants you to run one of the scenarios instead. So I was like, okay, sure. It's like I'll do that instead. This seems fun.
I tried to get in.
Shay tried to get in when we found out we had an extra spot, but they wrangled somebody who had been on the waiting already. They also didn't do casting calls this season, so It was a little weird the way they set everything up, so I didn't have a chance to grab everyone. You know, they were just like, is there anyone you want in? And Dido was the first person who expressed interest, so I grabbed them. Coming soon on Fridays as well, because I'm terrible to myself and I don't enjoy sleep, I will be running Kids on Brooms for Nomedic's channel. That will be a Roll20 Spotlight game, which I'm excited about. Also, Cadence, they gave me a hard copy of Cult Divinity Lost, so I have that brick of a book. They sent it to me.
It's such a pretty thing.
It's such a pretty book, and it's huge. Turn it to the side too. It's a big book.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot in there. It's a thick gal. So I will be running 2 games on Friday, both of which are sponsored, and I'm excited for. And I don't enjoy sleeping apparently. Saturdays, like I said, is up in the air for what we're going to be doing. Sundays is up in the air, but that pretty much covers the whole week. So Mondays, we might have something coming within the next month or two if Shay is able to wrangle everyone in. We will be doing another Things from the Flood campaign, fingers crossed, with a couple of wonderful artist people, such as Destany, Zanis, and of course Spider Queen Long, who just finished their own wonderful Kickstarter of
Change Stars.
Change Stars. Thank you. I almost said Diesel Shot, and I was like, no, that's not correct. Anyways, it's clear that my brain is not working tonight, so I'm going to wrap it up here before I say anything else goofy. So thank you all for watching. We will see you next week, and I'm going to find us somebody to raid so that we can share the love. Who is on? Who is on? Atlanta by Night is on, but they are probably finishing up. Vancouver by Night is also on, but they are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, level 1
Vampires
geek.
play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I know. They have a vampire channel playing something else. It's so strange. We'll go over to our good friends over at Level 1 Geek. They are playing Pathfinder, so it's not quite the same game, but if you enjoy tabletop RPGs, you'll enjoy them because they're good people. So go over, give them some love, tell them we said hi, and